Hey everybody, Jabman025 here. Today I'm taking a look at my 94th Master Raid, the Gundam AGE-2 Normal. And as you can probably tell by the title of this video, this is a custom recolor. This is the Special Forces version of the AGE-2, which essentially is a white recolor from head to toe. Now, while it is a completely white recolor, there are actually two shades of white. One is a slightly off-white, the other is just plain white. I decided to use a reefer white and a Citadel white scar, which is kind of like a chalk white. One color is for all the red and yellow parts, which truthfully ain't a whole lot on this kit. And the other white is for, well, everything else. All the blue parts, all the white parts, everything got recolored. And yes, I had to paint the white parts too to make them match. Now another issue I have is this kit does have some pinstriping on it, and most of it's white, which really wouldn't help that much if I have a white kit. So what I did was I did some pinstriping using, in some cases, the actual decals and some painter's tape. Looking at the cockpit, a Semu there, nice little sliding action, and apparently if you're flying the AGE-2, you're not claustrophobic because you slide in that little coffin-shaped thing there. And yeah, that would be a little creepy to fly, but whatever. Torso, you can see in the face and on the waist section, the slightly different whites. They're not, huge differences, but there's a little bit of difference. You do get these silver stickers to go behind the A and behind the eyes to kind of get that glow like you did in the AGE-1. I decided to use some gray for the pinstriping. Again, we have the spoiler on the back, and just like the AGE-1, we have some pinstriping back there. Again, the A in the chest really does have a nice glow to it, looks real good. Really solid torso, no real problems here. Does kind of remind me of the Sazabi a little bit, in its building anyway. Arms, really big shoulder armor on this sucker. Again, kind of reminding me of Sazabi a little. Big bend down the elbows, no real problems there. And the hands are once again interchangeable fingers. And once again, the wrists are superb on this kit, just like the AGE-1. Excellent wrists, full 360, some extra angles, excellent wrists on these AGE kits. And once again, interchangeable fingers, gripper hand, trigger finger, and the open style hand to go with the fist. Taking a look at the legs, very sturdy legs. There is a lot going on here for the transformation. And this is one of those things when you're building the legs, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense while you're building it, but it makes sense when you actually do the transformation later. Even when I had it in full leg mode, it didn't make a whole lot of sense until I did the transformation. Excellent posability out of the hips. You can do the full splits. Nice bend to the knee. Not great, but good bend. And great points on the toes. No problems there. And nice big old skirt armor on this kit. You don't see a lot of big skirt armor, but I like it on this kit. See them all put together, sans wings of course, and it looks pretty good. Again, a little more pinstriping on the shoulders there. One problem I did have with this kit, or at least my recolor, is there's little pieces of blue everywhere. You can see there on the side skirt armor. Every time I thought, okay, I got everything, I noticed one more thing I had to go back and fix. But it is a little bit tedious and difficult to cover up a colored kit to make it all white. But it's a challenge, I took it out. What do you want? Adding on the wings, again, a little bit more pinstriping here. These wings are connected into the shoulder by just a simple plug, and they will fall out occasionally, especially when you're posing and moving things around. It's not that big of a deal because they just plug right back in again. But it can be a little awkward with the wings, but the wings are one of the upsides of this kit. That makes it look a little bit different. Now, at this point, it really does kind of remind me of a 00 kit, but then again, the designer of the AGE-2 was the same designer for 00, so sounds a little familiar, or seems a little familiar, rather. Accessories, the shield, nothing too fancy here, just a plug. Plugs into the wrist here. And the wrist, like the AGE-1, will do a full 360, so you can put it whatever you want, on the side, on the back, wherever you please. You have two beam sabers, and they have little latches here on the back skirt armor where they just slide right in. And this is a double-bladed beam saber, a la High New or New Gundam. Long blade at the top, short blade at the bottom. And yes, you get two of them. No real problem holding this. It actually uses the trigger finger to hold this beam saber for some strange reason, but it works out okay. And no real balance issues at this point. It's not really affecting balance all that much. You get the beam rifle, and I absolutely love this beam rifle. Lots and lots and lots of detail is put into this thing. When you just look at it, it doesn't look that particularly fancy, but when you build it, you realize just how much detail is put into this thing. There's lots of little, clear pieces of green in there. Excellent support. It has a great connection into the hand. There is an extra little plug that can connect into the wrist if you want. It is a little heavy. If you don't have the shoulders hinged in, it won't be quite strong enough to hold it out, and getting the shoulders unhinged is supremely easy on this kit when you're doing poses. So it can be a little awkward to pose with, but overall not bad. You can still get lots of nice poses out of it. The action base attachment is ridiculously strong. In fact, I put the attachment into the crotch area, and quite frankly, it was just so difficult to get it in there. Once I got it on, I'm never taking it off again. It's super strong connection. He's never coming off that base unless you do something incredibly crazy. So no problems there. Now the transformation. First you're going to take these shoulders and bend them down. You're going to move and then you're going to move the entire chest piece up. It slides right up. Then you're going to take the shoulders and unhinge them, which is, like I said, fairly easy, and you're going to flip the entire bottom half of the Gundam towards the back. And that opens up the cockpit down below if you want to open it up. Then you're going to unhinge the legs, which is fairly easy, and a little latch comes out, which the hands connect into. The removable fingers actually latch into that section, which works surprisingly well. They give you these fingers here to kind of give the illusion that it's still hands, but quite frankly, they're more trouble than it's worth. But that is a really neat idea, having the hands without the fingers in them connect into the legs so it's one solid piece. And this transformation, is complex as it was, worked like a charm. You can transform the gun as well and plug it right into the A so it's flying forward and the gun's facing forward. And this transformation was complex and surprisingly easy. I had no real issue with it. Now, decals on this kit. The decals are actually pretty good. The problem for me is a good chunk of them are white, which again doesn't really help if my kit's entirely white. Now, not all of them were, but a good chunk of them were. So what I decided to do is use some old waterslide decals I had hanging around. This is from the High New, but there's a whole bunch of just generic warning decals and so on and so forth that can be used on anything. I also made some custom decals, put them on inkjet clear decal paper, which I've used in the past. Haven't done it in a while though. And decaled them up. Most are small little decals here and there, but I did, as you can probably see, put in a couple of really big ones. Pilot's name there, Asemu Asuno, EFF, Earth Federation Forces, warning decals all over the place. On the wing I put Special Forces Unit and Gundam AGE-2 in kind of a 80s futuristic, somewhat corny lettering, which kind of fits AGE to a T. And, of course, the pilot's ace nickname, Super Pilot. Now, in the grand history of Gundam, there's lots of great ace nicknames. The Red Comet, the Crimson Lightning, my personal favorite, the Nightmare of Solomon, the Ultimate Coordinator. But you get here, Super Pilot. Well, what you gonna do? And he looks pretty good on the action base. Didn't use a ton of decals, and those kind of big ones do stand out, but I kind of like that look to it. I saw the AGE-2 Special Forces as one big white canvas, so I used some big decals on this guy. On the accessories, again, Super Pilot, use the EFF symbol in a couple places, their shield logo, a couple little generic danger decals. Look pretty good. Final thoughts on this kit. In terms of my recolor, I think I did a pretty good job. Not my best recolor ever, far from my worst. Turned out okay. I'm happy with it. It was a tough recolor doing all those colors to a base white, but still came out pretty good. In terms of the kit itself, I'm giving this kit a big thumbs up. This has really good balance. It's even better on an action base, of course. Lots of neat poses. It's a really interesting frame. Like I said, it kind of reminds you of 00, a little bit of Sazabi. It seems familiar, but still new. Lots of great accessories, lots of different posing options, and the transformation works like a charm, to my surprise. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Your new leader for Master Grade Kit of the Year is Gundam AGE-2, and I'm as surprised as anyone on that fact. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you found it informative. If you got any questions, ask them. Please leave me a comment. You know I love reading them. Please stay tuned for more. I got more reviews coming, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and one more thing. So, welcome. I hear you're an ace suit. My ace is Char Aznable, the Red Comet. So, what's your ace's nickname? Super Piloto! Beg your pardon? You know, super pilot. Super pilot. Seriously.